point A, x and y, is the intersection point of the unit circle and the terminal arm of 145 degrees in standard position. The coordinates of point A to the nearest hundredth are. Alright, so the nice thing is we don't have to do any calculating. The numbers are here for us. All we have to do is figure out which quadrant the coordinate falls into. Is it going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4? And a quick look at the unit circle will help us. So 145 degrees, it lands right in here between the 135 and 150. So it's in quadrant 2, where the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive, because we're going left then up. So negative, positive. Let's remember that, negative, positive. First coordinate negative, second coordinate positive. So we can eliminate it to either A or C. Now we just need to know, is it further than halfway in terms of being flatter, or is it less than halfway and it stays taller? So let's look at the circle again. Whoops, that's not the one. 145 degrees is more than the 135. So we know it's going to be a little bit flatter. So that means the x is going to be a bit further out and the y is going to be a little bit lower. So the x coordinate is negative and it's a little bit farther out, and the y coordinate is positive and it's a little bit flatter, a little bit smaller. So a big negative and a small positive. A big negative and a small positive, that's C. The 0.82 is further out and the 0.57 is flatter than what we would have had for A. So our answer is C. Number 9, an expression that is equivalent to cos 2x plus 2 sine squared x divided by 1 plus tan squared x, where x is not equal to n pi over 2, n is an element of the integers, is. So this is where we're going to need to turn to our formula sheet to try to help us with some of these entities and what they're equivalent to. So let's just pull that up. So what we're going to do is treat the numerator and denominator separately. We're going to deal with them separately. So let's start here. Cos 2x plus 2 sine 2 sine squared x. What are we going to do to it? The cos 2x is equal to cos squared x minus sine squared x. Yes. Plus, and then once again plus this. Okay, so what does that equal? 2 sine squared x minus sine squared x. Well, that's obviously just cos squared x plus sine squared x. But this also equals something, just 1. So what about the denominator? 1 plus tan squared x. Well, that is equal to secant squared x, which is the same as 1 over sine squared x. Divided by 1 plus 10 squared x. Which is just 1 over that squared x, which is equal to sine squared x, excuse me. Alright, so we just multiply the two, the 1, which is the numerator, and then the sine squared x, which is the other part of the expression, and the answer is just sine squared x. So B. The London Eye is an observation wheel with a radius of 68 meters. Rides consist of one complete revolution, which takes 30 minutes, and begin on a platform 2 meters above the ground. The height h at t in meters of a rider above the ground as a function of time t in minutes can be expressed as h at t equals a sine b times t minus c plus d. Which of the following equations could represent the function of h at t? Okay, so we have to gather our information here. Okay, so right off the bat here, we can eliminate a and d. And that's because neither A nor D take into account that the ride can never go lower than 2 meters in height. And what we notice about the first equation, A, is that this sine, the sine of all this stuff in the bracket, will eventually, at some point in the curve, output a minus 1. So that 68 times negative 1 is minus 68 plus 68 equals 0. And the height can't go that low. So it's not A. Yeah, 136 plus 2. So it's 138 is the max height. And we can't reach that height with D. Because the sine of whatever in the bracket will eventually output 1. And then 1 times 34 is 34 plus 68 gives us 102, which is nowhere near the 138 maximum height that we need. So A is out and D is out. So that leaves us with B and C. And for the same reason, C is also out, because sine will eventually output 1. 1 times 34 is 34 plus 70 is 104. That leaves us with the only potential candidate being B, because our maximum height can be reached at 138, because 1 times 68 plus 70 is 138. Negative 1 times 68 is negative 68 plus 70 is 2. So that gives us the whole scope of the height. The lowest height and the highest height and everything in between. B is the only one that gives us that scope. So B is our answer.